You know the truck. You have seen it in the parking lot at work, in the driveway next door, on the highway during your commute. The brand new F-150 or Ram 1500 or Silverado, fully loaded, lariat trim, crew cab, 4x4, chrome steps, spray inliner, tinted windows, clean, new, expensive. The median Canadian household income is approximately $70,000 after tax. The median worker earns approximately $60,000 before tax. That truck costs approximately $85,000 to $95,000. And yet, pickup trucks are the best-selling vehicle class in Canada. Not best-selling among trucks, best-selling of everything. More Canadians buy full-size pickup trucks every year than any other vehicle category. The F-150 has been Canada's best-selling vehicle for years running. So how is everyone affording it? The honest answer is, most of them are not affording it. They are financing it, over terms so long and at prices so high that the truck they are driving today will be worth less than what they owe on it for the first 3 years of ownership. The truck feels affordable. The monthly payment feels manageable. The true cost, the all-in monthly number, the negative equity position, the opportunity cost of what that money would have become, is almost never calculated at the point of purchase. This video does that calculation. Pickup trucks did not always cost $80,000. For most of the 20th century, the working truck was a relatively affordable tool. A basic F-100 or Ram in the 1980s was a work vehicle for farmers, contractors, and tradespeople. No luxury interior, no touchscreen, no 20-inch chrome wheels. Two things changed simultaneously. The transformation of the truck. Automakers discovered in the 1990s and 2000s that Canadians and Americans were willing to pay premium prices for trucks, and that adding luxury features to the truck body produced higher margins than adding them to cars. The truck bed became almost incidental. The vehicle became a luxury SUV on a truck platform, with leather seats, heated steering wheels, 12-inch infotainment screens, and adaptive cruise control. The Ram 1500 now comes in a Laramie Longhorn trim with a starting price above $80,000. The F-150 King Ranch and Platinum trims push past $90,000. The cheapest new full-size pickup truck in Canada in 2026, the base Ford F-150, starts at approximately $48,000. Most Canadians are not buying the base trim. The cultural phenomenon, in Canada, particularly in Alberta, Saskatchewan, rural Ontario, and suburban communities, the full-size pickup truck carries significant cultural weight. It signals toughness, capability, success, and a particular version of Canadian identity. Many Canadian buyers who have never hauled a single load of lumber are buying crew cab 4x4 trucks with every available upgrade. Because the truck is not primarily a tool. It is a statement. Automakers understand this. The profit margins on Lariat, Laramie, and Denali trims are dramatically higher than base trims. The truck market is the most profitable segment in North American automotive. Ford's truck division alone generates more profit than most automotive companies' entire operations. The result? More of Canada's most affordable pickup trucks are now priced above $50,000 to start than ever before, and the average transaction price, what Canadians actually pay after choosing their trim and options, is dramatically higher than that. Here is the vault, the specific question every car dealer asks, designed to make you stop thinking about the actual cost of the truck, and the answer that costs most Canadians $21,390 in extra interest. The question is, What monthly payment works for you? It sounds helpful. It sounds like the dealer is trying to accommodate your budget. What it actually does is shift your entire focus from the price of the vehicle to a single monthly number. And once you are focused on the monthly payment, the dealer has enormous flexibility to stretch the loan term until the payment hits your number. Here is how the math works. Verified. An $80,000 truck. No down payment, common in Canada, where many buyers trade in a vehicle with negative equity that gets rolled into the new loan. At a promotional 0% interest rate for 72 months, $1,111 per month. That sounds manageable. Some Canadians genuinely qualify for these promotional rates, but 0% financing is not free. Manufacturers who offer 0% financing typically do so on specific trims at full list price, and the cash-back alternative, taking the discount instead of 0%, is often $3,000 to $8,000 off the vehicle. The 0% rate is the cost of borrowing transferred into the vehicle price. You pay it either way. At a standard bank rate of 6.99% for 72 months, $1,364 per month. That exceeds many Canadians' comfort threshold. The dealer's solution: stretch to 84 months. At 6.99% for 84 months, $1,207 per month. The payment comes down by $157. The loan now runs 7 years. Total interest paid, $21,390. On a vehicle that will be worth approximately $35,000 to $40,000 by the time the loan is paid off. J.D. Power has found that loans of 84 months or longer now represent more than 12.8% of all new vehicle financing in Canada, up sharply from 7.3% in March 2019. And 96-month, 8-year, truck loans are now available from some Canadian dealers. The monthly payment becomes the anchor. The total cost becomes invisible. The loan term becomes a dial the dealer turns until the number lands where the buyer is comfortable. And most buyers leave feeling like they got a good deal because the monthly payment hit their target. Every new vehicle begins depreciating the moment it leaves the dealership. Pickup trucks typically lose approximately 20% of their value in the first year and 15% in the second. A $80,000 truck is worth approximately $64,000 after year 1. Meanwhile, on an 84-month loan with no down payment at 6.99%, the loan balance after year 1 is approximately $70,817. The truck is worth $64,000. The owner owes $6,817 more than the truck is worth. This is negative equity, being underwater, upside down. Year 1, $6,817 underwater. Year 2, still $6,572 underwater. Year 3, $2,543 underwater. Year 4, finally, $3,030 in positive equity, if nothing goes wrong. Why this matters? If the truck is written off in year 2, insurance pays market value, $54,400. The owner still owes $60,972 on the loan. Gap insurance, a product dealers aggressively push, would cover this. Most buyers do not understand why they need it until this moment. More commonly, the owner gets bored of the truck in year 3 or 4. They go back to the dealer wanting to trade up to the new model. The dealer checks the trade-in value, approximately $47,872. The loan balance, $50,415. The owner is $2,543 underwater. The dealer's solution: Roll the negative equity into the new loan. The owner now starts their next $85,000 truck loan at $87,543, immediately underwater on day one of the new vehicle. They have never had a moment of equity in the first truck and are starting the second loan with negative equity baked in before driving off the lot. This is the debt treadmill. Many Canadians have rolled negative equity multiple times, each cycle adding to the starting balance of the next loan, creating a permanent state of owing more on their vehicles than the vehicles are worth. The monthly payment is not the cost of the truck. It is one component of the cost of the truck. Most Canadians never do the true all-in monthly calculation before signing. Here is that calculation on an $80,000 pickup truck. Verified. Loan payment at 6.99% for 84 months with no down payment. $1,207 per month. Insurance. A new full-size pickup truck in Ontario costs approximately $200 to $300 per month in insurance, depending on the driver's history, location, and coverage. Call it $250. Fuel. A full-size 4x4 pickup with a V8 or large V6 consumes approximately 12 to 15 liters per 100 kilometers in mixed driving. At Canadian fuel prices, averaging approximately $1.55 per liter nationally, a driver covering 20,000 kilometers annually pays approximately $380 to $475 per month in fuel. Call it $400. Maintenance, oil changes, tires. Trucks require larger, more expensive tires replaced every 60,000 to 80,000 kilometers. Brakes, scheduled maintenance, approximately $100 to $200 per month averaged over ownership. Call it $150. Total, $2,007 per month. The median Canadian household takes home approximately $5,833 per month. The $80,000 truck consumes approximately 34% of that take-home income, more than double the commonly cited maximum of 10 to 15%. This is the number that never appears in the dealership conversation. The conversation is about the $1,207 loan payment. The insurance company sends a separate bill. The gas station charges separately. The tire shop sends a separate invoice. The true cost is distributed across 4 separate payment points so that it is never experienced as a single number, even though it is. The 15% rule says a Canadian household should spend a maximum of 15% of take-home income on their vehicle. All in, on $5,833 per month take-home, that is $875. The $80,000 truck exceeds this by $1,132 every month. This video is not an argument against trucks. Trucks are legitimately necessary for a significant portion of Canadians, tradespeople, farmers, contractors, people who genuinely haul and tow for work. For those Canadians, the math works differently. When the truck makes financial sense, legitimate work use with business deduction. A contractor, electrician, or plumber who uses a truck for work can write off a portion of the vehicle costs as a business expense, loan interest, insurance, fuel, maintenance, and depreciation, in proportion to business use. If 80% of driving is business-related, 80% of eligible costs are deductible. At a 30% marginal tax rate, that reduces the effective after-tax cost of the truck by approximately 24%. This is a genuine, legal, significant financial advantage that changes the calculus entirely for legitimate business use. Towing and payload requirements. If the work or lifestyle genuinely requires a half-ton or three-quarter-ton truck because of what is being towed or hauled, then a truck is the appropriate vehicle, and the cost is a necessity rather than a choice. When the truck does not make financial sense, The commuter who drives to an office job and parks it on the street in Toronto. The suburban buyer who hauls a lawnmower twice a year. The buyer who chose the fully loaded Lariat because the base model felt insufficient, even though the base would have done everything required. What smart ownership looks like? Buy used, 2 to 3 years old. The original buyer absorbed the steepest depreciation. The same truck at 2 years old costs approximately $20,000 to $25,000 less than new. Maximum 20% down payment to avoid immediate negative equity. Maximum 60-month loan term, 5 years, so the loan payoff aligns with the depreciation curve. Do the all-in calculation before signing. Payment plus insurance plus fuel plus maintenance. Never focus on the monthly payment without knowing the total price, interest rate, and term simultaneously. How are Canadians affording $80,000 trucks on average salaries? Most of them are not affording them. They are financing them on 84-month loans that stretch the payment into something that feels manageable. They are underwater on them for the first 3 years of ownership. They are spending approximately 34% of their take-home income on a vehicle that the financial guideline says should consume 10 to 15%. And many of them will trade in before the loan is paid, rolling negative equity into the next loan and starting the cycle again. The truck is not the problem. Some Canadians genuinely need trucks. Many Canadians choose trucks because of what they signal and how they feel, which is a legitimate personal choice. The problem is when that personal choice is financed with a 7-year loan on a vehicle that will be worth half its purchase price by the time the loan is cleared. The answer to how are they affording it is the monthly payment feels manageable. The total cost does not get calculated. The negative equity does not get noticed until the trade-in conversation. And by then, the dealership has a solution that starts the whole process again. Do the all-in calculation. Know the total price. Know the term. Know the interest. Know the insurance. Know the fuel. If the number exceeds 15% of your take-home, buy differently.